I'm sitting here with two very important people who have come together with a film called Tum Meri Poori Kahani. तो पूरी कहानी क्या है ये आप दोनों से हम जानना चाहेंगे. So the whole thing is there's a lot of obsession these days with music of the film, with love stories, and of course we cannot forget about the whole plot coming together about success and failure. We have been seeing this since we have seen successful films like Ashiki has come, and now we have said Sayyara, and here we are with one more. But why do you think this subject was important for you to, to tell? Why was this story
Because
important?
it has the truth of her life. She has lived her way into the story. एक होती है, there's a story that is given to you and it is written brilliantly, but it has no living reference point. It's a bleeding wound. There's something throbbing in her. It comes from a source, from a thirst, which kind of changed her course of life and brought her into this fortress called Bollywood, which is closed, has a closed door attitude towards people coming from non-filmy background and etc. And I met her in a pandal in Kolkata 10 years ago, and she said that I cut hair with my left hand and I write with my right hand, and that's what I remember. And I want to be in the performing arts. I want to be in the movies. Can I do it? So I said, give me a sample scene that you can write for me. I'll give you a situation. And I wanted a new, fresh voice. And she wrote for me a scene, and that scene became the lifeblood of the film, which had a traditional character, which kind of flowers into that kind of rebellion. And that was her life. And so from there to Tum Meri Poori Kahani has been a journey. So why this? It has the vibe of a lived life. And a lived life supersedes synthetic stuff, no matter how lavishly they are made. When a person has a direct experience, you come to know she is speaking from a space which is real. There's a bullshit detector in the audience. They come to know in this super hype time where everybody is telling everything.
Tell me about your journey.
So life before 38 was that of a woman who loved music, loved literature, was doing editing with the Seagull School of Editing, and wanting to somewhere express her voice. I had 2 children by then, so my life was in so many words settled. But I knew I wasn't settled. Somewhere I felt my journey of this life has come to an end and it is seeking an expression somewhere else. I accidentally met Bhatt Saab in a Durga Puja Pandal.
Wow.
And it was the year of Nirbhaya doing the rounds. So the women's emancipation was the theme. I was talking to him about that. And I had a feeling that day, which I cannot explain, that I'm going to be with him. It doesn't make any sense at all. I'm in Calcutta. He just tells his friend in Calcutta, I want to come and see Durga Puja like an insider. And I just meet him. I tell him that I write and I say, I know I'm going to be with him in some way. So after I got his email so that I could send some writing, I picked up A Taste of Life, which is a book, a diary, a kind of journal in which he has noted down the last 8-9 days with his friend, philosopher guide, U.G. Krishnamurti, before he embraced death. Reading the first 1.5 pages of A Taste of Life made me tell myself, I am just joking around with myself. I'm not writing at all, and I don't know anything about writing. I have to take this master guru, I have to take him ahead and tell him, you have to teach me writing. Was it easy? It was not easy. Nothing was easy. Even to tell it to myself was very difficult.
I think that is the hardest part.
Yes, to tell it to myself that I want it.
To tell yourself that I will not restrict myself, my boundaries.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. And then telling it one by one. Of course, I was married still, though it was not in the best of places. But I knew that life has come to an end. I will have to make the courage. But make the courage for what? It's an art I do not know. It's a world I do not know. But I just had faith that it's either now or never. I have to do it. So one by one, I think one thing at a time, it started falling in place. I completely secluded my life, came away to my parents' house. We are Bengalis. a daughter coming back at 38 with her children is not the best of things to happen. But my father was a very different man. He was ahead of his times. He taught both me and my sister that if you've come to the world, you have to establish a mark of yourself. Unfortunately, with my husband and with that life that I lived, though there was nothing lacking there, that is the only scream that I had in my life, that I'm not able to establish myself. So I gave up on that entire salon thing I had, which was very difficult. I made that brand for 8-9 years. I still have, scissor wounds because I used to cut hair very fast. And I loved cutting hair. So I gave up that as well. And then I'm still looking at I don't know what. Then one after the other things started falling in. Moving to Bombay, while I used to go back every month to look on my children, make sure that they are fine. Working with Bhatt Sahab in everything that came. He said, just embrace everything. Do television, do cinema, do everything. You are here to learn everything. So I used to sit in those rooms.
I'm so inspired. I cannot tell you.
I used to sit blank, and he used to say, if you are in this room, there's a reason why you are in it. Don't question yourself, just listen to what they are saying. So I used to go to these hot star meetings. I used to go to these production house meetings, sometimes make notes. But most of that time, my brain was making the translation from the literary world to the visual art world. Yeah. It was not easy for me, but something told me this is my way ahead. So, and I don't think success can only accumulate to a box office hit of a film. My son, who's 24, is the associate director of my film. He finished class 12 and he said, I am going to do what my mama does. That is also success.
Mahesh sir, this question is for you. You are sitting in front of two women who have come from small town. While I won't say Calcutta is a small town, but from Bengal, from Jamshedpur, and here we are. But at the same time, you are surrounded by women at home, okay? And you are a filmmaker. You have your daughters there. Alia is one of the most successful actresses in the industry right now. Now, people might talk about nepotism. People might talk about, us coming here in the industry. But at the same time, tell me, how did you deal with this thought of people constantly telling you that your daughter is from the industry? Of course, she's privileged, much privileged than a lot of girls, but she has proved herself as an actress now, right? So as a father, what do you tell those people?
Well, I don't have to. My life screams out and says that I've given more breaks to complete rank outsiders right from the beginning. Anupam Kher is the screaming example of that. At 28, I gave him the most defining role of his lifetime called Saransh. And innumerable people, I mean, they had potential, but I gave them the soil and the opportunity. And I'm doing the same thing now with Suhrita, or with Hiranya, or with Arhan, who comes from the village in Madhya Pradesh. So I did not take those tirades against me, because, you see, if somebody tells me you don't have hair, it doesn't make me feel bad, because it's a fact. And somebody says you're blind, it doesn't make me feel bad because I'm not blind. So in either case, I shouldn't be hurt. So that's not true. And Alia was given a break, not by me. We don't make movies to launch our kids. I didn't make a film to launch my son. Because he's into fitness, right? It was Karan Johar, and thank God she got a kind of a production house like that.
But did you ever think about launching her?
No, I never. No, she was just finishing a school, and she just. I mean, Sony is an actor, and Sony and she were having some kind of auditioning going on, and she had to audition. She didn't. It was not a red carpet rolled out for her. And Karan is an established name producer director, and he wouldn't be so generous to give her something if he didn't earn it. So, and then one day they came and told me that she's auditioned and she has qualified to be the leading lady of that film called Student of the Year. And I was happy for her. And we were both apprehensive that whether she would be able to, because we both are from the industry. I mean, Sony is a fantastic actress. I call her a better actress than Alia, though she's not found her idiom here. If you see her films which she's done, one Bengali film particularly called Yours
Yours
Truly.
Truly.
It's amazing, and then what she's done for BBC and for television. We were both apprehensive that will she take to the sky like birds take to the sky when they're born. And I remember that day when she went to shoot. It was just another day. She left, so I'm going. She said, Tony, I said, okay, just let me know when the first shot is taken. And I was apprehensive because when children go out to work, you are concerned because you don't want them to fail. And after an hour, I got a call. And Sony her tone said it all. I said, so? Yes, she's just fine. So I said, that means I can come now. And I then much later, I went there, and I met Farah, and I met Karan, and she was there at a distance with Rishi Kapoor, who would be his father-in-law. And I just saw her from a distance, and I knew that she was completely immersed in it. And it was the great Yash Chopra who, in the interval of Student of the Year, told me, "25 star hai." And he died 15 days after that. But his words still echo in my head. And here he was, a senior man talking to a father. And we were not here to kind of structure a career for her. But she was always clear that she wanted to act and only act.
But when did you realize that my daughter is a star? You remember any film of hers that really impressed you?
Well, I must say that it was in Highway. When Imtiaz came to the house and gave her a script to read, and I remember he came rather late, and 9:30, 10. And our house did not have the film atmosphere. I mean, Sony and me, we didn't bring the film clan to our house. So she took the script and she read it from cover to cover all night, and she said, I'm going to do this film at any cost. And there she was, and she suddenly moved from a 7-star culture budget of Student of the Year, where there were the best of amenities that support their shooting, to a difficult film, which required to travel and go to 2-tier, 3-tier cities and travel to Ladakh, not Ladakh, to
the mountains.
To the mountains, to Kaza, and shoot there. And I remember one journalist of repute from the Hindi belt said, I saw your daughter in Kashmir. I'd gone to cover the shooting of Highway, and it was lunch break, and she was sleeping on the ground under a tree. And I was so happy. Because I've said that there's nothing special about actors. We just get more spotlight on us. Otherwise, we're not different from the security man who opens the door for you.
What are the struggles that the insiders go through to be under the shadow of a father who is this successful and they have to make it? What are these struggles? Because we don't know these struggles. This is alien for us. Like, for example, Aryan's film is coming. Okay? I can't imagine. That's why I'm asking you. What kind of stress that boy would have been because he's a son of Shah Rukh Khan and he has to prove himself? Or Alia would have been because she's a daughter of Mahesh Bhatt?
Well, according to me, you should be asking me what kind of a stress it is to be Alia Bhatt's father.
She has made that place for herself where you are known now as Alia Bhatt's father.
I was known as Pooja Bhatt's father.
Yes, for the longest time. Forever.
In the 90s. And so for me to hear that is one of the greatest joys of my life. That when I just keep on saying, when Shaheen's book becomes a hit, when she wrote about her depression, I said, I am the proud father of three daughters, so don't mess with me, you know. and they are ferocious fighters, you know. And well, I think there is a pressure which is around the person and the family. But I think Shah Rukh is a very sane man. He is a person who has a status of a superstar, and he's endured it for years. It's because of the metal that he has. And it's not something that you can borrow from your box office figures. It is something which is there. He came with it when he was walking in front of the camera for the first time here in Bombay, in Mumbai. But I think that home with him there must have given him, the child, all the kind of mental support system to go out and there and face one irreversible, harsh truth which is applicable to all entertainers all through time. This world hates failures and worships success. And that is, in fact, one of the best things, because anybody can come here and be embraced and rise to the dizzying height. He came from somewhere, just from Delhi with nothing but himself. So the child, if he has it, he will sparkle. Yes, you will have to deal with the environmental hazards of the times we live in. You will have the trolls, which will be belonging to one faction or the other, and irrespective of how brilliant you are, somebody out there will be out there to get you. Well, that will impact you. You will pretend that it doesn't impact you, but the fact is that every entertainer wants everybody in the world to like whatever he creates or she creates. And you learn to put up with the discomfort of not being liked. So yes, the pressures on what you call the star kids is enormous. But one of the most brilliant things about this business is you can't hand it over. It comes through Suhrita, irrespective of any connection. It just blooms. It's like roses don't necessarily bloom in the backyard of a king. They just grow wild. They just come from anywhere. So nature is generous enough. There is no nepotism in nature.
Yes.
An industry may have a nepotism. So to people who say nepotism in industry, yes, there is nepotism, but it's also not there. You can't deny somebody who has the genes of being an actor or a director the right to claim his or her place. Yes, access is success. To get access is difficult, but that access doesn't guarantee you
Success.
anything.
Absolutely.
If it was possible, then everybody who's a somebody would have made everybody in his family and his distant family a star. The power lies with the people. They decide. The man on the street decides your destiny. And thank God, he is holding the pen with which he is going to write the first line of the chapter of your journey.
Absolutely. Let's come to the music of the film. There are right now so many successful musicians, singers coming up every day. Why did you choose Anu Malik? Also, I'm not done.
Yeah.
We have gone through a phase of Me Too. I have no qualms about asking this because it's the need of the hour. There have been allegations. People have talked about it. But here we are, back in business. Please, if you can explain it to me.
Well, I would say that first thing, to answer the first question, it was Vikram Bhatt, who is the producer of this film, who said that when I said, let's make a love story. And I said, but who gives the music? Because I can't shop around 5 people and take tunes from here, there, everybody said, no, there's one person called Anu Malik, and we can ask him to score the the music. And I felt that Anu and me had done brilliant work with Phir Teri Kahani Yaad Aayi and innumerable films. And I felt that he had gone through the winter of his life and he was out there in the cold. And I felt that that was the best time to tap into the heart of a person who has gone through the winter phase, because it's the winter that lights the fire in you. Now, coming to the Me Too question, there is a version that is out there in public space, and you naturally, being a journalist, are well within your right to answer the question. To which the answer that he has given to me, or she has repeatedly said to me, is that he has the National Commission of Women, which has categorically said in black and white that there is no substantial evidence that is found against him. Now, there's a lady here next to me who is the moral custodian of the feminine rights. I think, having heard that, there are many allegations made on many people for many things, but then they are later on, they wither and die. And so there's a lady next to me called Suhrita, who comes from a middle-class Bengali home, and she has been very closely, she calls him Malik Da, right? Let her do that explanation about how do you...
Yeah. In fact, it is just not me. There were 2 women, me and Shweta, who were working, and we were working in very close proximity. There's a reason why I have given him that name, Malik Da. It takes a lot to translate to that place of being an elder brother. There were moments when he has a little sight problem, so he would have to literally see the lyrics a little in bigger font. So Shweta used to write it handwritten in bigger font. She used to stand there. She's the lyricist, but she used to stand there and he used to watch that and just play his harmonium and sing. We've been in the studio on Rakhi festivity when the entire country was completely enthralled. He was sitting somewhere in a cold studio and trying to give me another version of Ye Ishq Hai Meri Jaan. I was there when the recording ended, and he said, "This is a gift of a brother to 2 sisters, Shweta and Suhrita." I can only say from my experience of my life, I can perceive life or world from whatever I see. So I have been with a true human being, a person who is completely driven by his work, who does not understand anything but the madness of music, and is a very kind human being. I mean, I remember he's done one full recording with a fishbone stuck in his neck. We were very guilty. We said, "Please, Malikda, stop it. Please go." There was even blood he was feeling in his mouth. He said, "Nahi, ab ye karna padega." And it was for one of her new talent, Anandi Joshi. She's a discovery. So he finished the recording, then went to medically attend to himself. So what I have seen is actually a phenomenon, kind of a passion, kind of a drive to do what they do. So it's an opportunity actually to have these talents in the same room, and just I and Shweta are just like these 2 kids who are just staring at them in awe and saying, "We don't have the right to say we are tired. We've just started." He actually came like a struggler. He still says, "Tum Meri Poori Kahani" is my first film. And the music, if you listen to it, you will feel it is different because my storytelling is very different.
You are now a grandfather of a cute little one, but also a grandfather who is quite worried about the privacy of your daughter and her granddaughter, because we see these visuals coming out of them getting clicked while they have been told, "Please don't click my daughter," from another building into the house, which is like beyond ethics. What, as a family, when something like this happens, does phone start ringing, calling your daughter? What happens, and how do you all deal with it?
Well, I think that's something which doesn't really weigh me down. And in fact, neither does it weigh Sony down so much, because I think, let's face the fact that a goldfish has no hiding place. Right?
But it's not ethical.
Yeah,
right?
But we are living in bizarre times globally. and the walls have crumbled. There is invasive journalism is now legitimized, and you have everything which is happening to people being covered, and you can go hoarse and keep on complaining and keep on talking about the values of privacy. But that's the ideal world that was. Now there are different times. I'm not saying that you should not use all the means available to you to come and to avoid that. They have personally gone out and begged them and said, "Don't do this," because it's a trauma. And Alia is particularly very, very concerned about this, because the child gets an attention and which kind of can scar the child in its formative years. But I wonder, like you live in the city with pollution, you live with the brutalities that is going on around you. How can you escape that? Because the paparazzi right standing outside your door, they also...
And she is the daughter of, nobody can deny that, Ranbir Kapoor and Alia Bhatt.
Yeah,
How
but
do you...
I think they're dealing with it very sanely, but they repeatedly keep on requesting them and begging them. And I think, to be fair to the paparazzi, they have also been, they have reined their desires to be very aggressively intruding on their lives. That's what I've noticed.
Yeah.
But the days of privacy...
What I feel, I feel the paparazzi is doing it because they're getting the eyeballs. Who are the eyeballs? The society who is constantly watching this, like everybody wants to watch it. That's why they're feeding it.
Exactly. So somebody wants it. There's a demand,
Yes.
and there's somebody there to supply it.
Yeah.
So that's how do you control that? So the people...
But a life is involved, a little one.
Yeah, but I think the parents are very, very, very intelligently handling the situation. And Alia particularly is very careful, very cautious. And they repeatedly, with folded hands, request the paparazzi. And I must say that the paparazzi has been, though it's their source of income, they live after every click they take. They stand in rain, they stand in
No matter what.
winter, and they have to somehow go back with something. Otherwise, they lose their jobs.
Yeah, they do.
So where do you stop it? It comes, as you rightly said, from the thirst of somebody out there. He says, "Entertain me ceaselessly." So I want to get close to the icon that I adore. So everybody would like to be a fly on the wall in your own, in your house. And that's what the media promises. And that's why the invasive tools are being used. You get into the homes of people. And I think with the advent of time, you're going to feel more and more and more vulnerable. And we and our children live in this real world. We are no exception. But there are people who are not successful, who are anonymous people. They also deal with their set of problems. Have you addressed them? No. So, irrespective whether you are a vulnerable, anonymous person or you are a celebrity, vulnerability is inevitable.
Yeah.
There's no firewall that these times have which can insulate you from this invasion.
Absolutely. But it was lovely talking to you guys. I can talk more and more. It'll never end. But thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.